Welcome to Waywut. This is a rabbit hole podcast where we cover topics ranging from sports to true crime and pop culture to just weird facts. Really, it's just a couple of guys taking turns to present weird topics to each other. We publish episodes on Tuesdays and sometimes on Fridays. You can watch us on YouTube and listen pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, just wherever. We're probably there. We really appreciate you joining us for this episode. And now that we got all this self-promotion stuff out of the way, here we go.
Why, hello there. On this episode, I am locking the door, stuffing a blanket under the door, and keeping my blankets off the floor as I bring us to another topic that made me say, wait, what?
It sounds
Standing
like
in front of me.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Hang on. Standing in front of me, holding a 12 gauge, and ready to sacrifice himself to save my life is Darrell Holiday.
Is this going to be about mice again?
Musophobia, the return.
Oh, dear God.
On a prior episode, I went into detail on why people have every reason to be scared of mice or rats. I went into greater detail as to why I am scared of them monsters. As mentioned, this is called musophobia. Once again, this is defined as irrational and overwhelming fear of mice and rats. One can experience extreme fear, panic, or anxiety. You have an exaggerated feeling of danger and negatively affects your life. This doesn't just apply to me, nor the millions and millions of other brave souls who suffer from this debilitating condition. However, we are not alone. Here are a few other examples. There is a fear of fish called ichthyophobia. There is something called the fear of dogs called xenophobia.
Okay.
People are scared of birds, fear of birds, or ornithophobia. There are the fear of moths, motephobia, M-O-T-T-E. I'm still not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but there's also a fear of butterflies, but I will not try to pronounce that because it is like 26 letters long, and there's no way I'm going
to Google this. Put it in the chat. I want to see if I can say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Copy, paste it, put it in there. I want to try to say
it. No, I don't have it written down. I didn't even type it. It's lapit blah blah. It starts with an L-A.
It's going to be Lepidoptera.
That one.
Fear, but I'm going to see what it is. Fear of butterflies.
Just look up fear of butterflies. It will be.
It is Lepidopterophobia.
And there you go.
Because the scientific name
Google Translate.
The scientific name of butterflies is Lepidoptera.
I remember that from Kingsman movie, but that's a very hard word to say.
That's how I also knew you mispronounced the fish one. It's ichthyophobia.
Ichthyophobia.
Yeah, because the Latin for fish is ictus.
Well, thank you, Google correct.
I think it's ictus. It's ict something because I learned some stuff in Rome.
Well, I know. I said this one right. Chiroptophobia, the fear of bats.
Are you just going to read a phobia dictionary?
No. I'm just giving you a few. No way would I put myself through that.
Welcome to the phobia dictionary hour.
No, I just want to make myself feel better because there are people who have irrational fears of fish, dogs, birds, moths, and bats.
So if you're a pussy, Jason accepts and understands you.
Hey. Although none of the phobias I just mentioned are near as bad as musophobia, people being scared of irrational things do exist. Footnote, it doesn't apply to rats or mice. They're violent, terrifying monsters, and it doesn't apply to bats, as they're basically rats with wings.
Jason, if you can kill it by stepping on it, it is not worth being afraid of.
No, it would dodge my foot, it would dart up my pant leg, and it would be over from there.
I think you overestimate the athletic ability of rodents.
No. The ones I've seen, they're giant. They have muscles.
I would not use...
They walk on the back legs.
For the record, you don't need a 12 gauge to kill a rat.
Well, if you want to make sure you get it, you just aim.
They would just leave a rat smear on the ground.
That would be totally fine with me. Well, regardless, and as promised, and after crying into a pillow, I did a little more digging into these filthy creatures, and I'm going to hit you with some positives or something good to say about them, and my take on the negatives or something bad to say about them. And I divide it up into a few categories. The first is their impact on history. This is going to be a negative and a positive. When the first Europeans came to Virginia, black rats, or ratus ratus, hitched a ride in their ships. That is the obvious negative. They're dirty, hitchhiking pirates. Anyways, the rats went on to live with the settlers and often built nests in the walls of people's homes. Those nests are full of information about the early settlers. That is the positive. One good example comes from the Oral House. This is a house that has been preserved. This has been preserved by the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation in
That's my
Virginia.
favorite house.
Yeah, a family of rats built a nest behind a staircase in the building. When the rats moved in, they lined their nest with objects from Oral House's human residence. That nest of nightmares remained hidden until 2001. They found buttons, pins, thread, knives, and souls of little children.
Oh,
These
dude,
nests of doom can show how a single building.
the souls of children.
Never mind the knives they have hidden in there. But these nests of doom can show how a single building gets used over time. Even their buildup of sticks and rat shit can tell us about the environments in which people lived thousands of years ago.
Wait,
That's pretty interesting.
hold on. I've been waiting for a moment to say this.
Go ahead.
You said oral. All right, go on.
It's a very weird word. I don't think I would name my.
Even it helps with it's even the mouth movement. Oral.
Yeah, it's too many R pronunciations.
It's easier to say than rural. Rural.
Rural.
Rural.
Yeah. Rural. All right. So something good. As mentioned, rats are dirty hitchhiking pirates and have been doing it as long as people have set sail. Now, by studying modern rat genetics, scientists can find out where people went and when. A phylogeographer is a scientist who study historical processes that may be responsible for the past to present geographic distributions of genealogical lineages.
Okay.
Basically, that's a mouthful, right? Basically, she studies how a species' DNA differs across this range.
Right.
One good example comes from the Polynesian Islands. People first arrived in this area some 3,000 years ago. Reaching these islands took long trips by boat, and any long trip needs snacks. Since there were no truck stops along the way to grab some goodies, and possibly a drive-through prostate exam, ancient seafarers brought live rats to munch on. This was the Pacific rat, or the Rattus exolanus. Rats that survived the journey went on, with people, to spread and populate island after island. By analyzing the rat's genetics, scientists have been able to figure out when people arrived there. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, knowing that they can use rats to trace back hundreds and thousands of years, it's pretty
Yeah.
interesting, considering how dirty and filthy and disgusting they are.
You're a little too focused on these. It's like, can this be the last rat episode?
Yes, but in the previous one, I promised I would try to shine some light on their good, and only way I could do that is
dead rats can tell us about. Oh no, it's not dead rats. It's rat genetics can tell us about when settlers
lineage,
arrived.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, gives us some history. They help with history.
All right.
Now, the something bad. I have to put in there something bad to make myself feel better about talking about something good about them. They have been able to trace the lineage of rats back 66 million years. Humans only date back 300,000 years or so. Mm-hmm. As smart as rats are, we are in danger of them taking over. Pinky and the Brain were not lying in what they wanted to do every day.
No. No. No,
They had an idea. There
they
was a
they
reason why the cartoon
they
people knew.
they are prey.
Mm-mm.
They are
No.
prey. Everything eats rats. Apparently, even sailors. But but birds eat rats. Cats eat
Yes.
rats. Dogs eat
Oh,
rats. I'm sure pigs eat rats because pigs will fucking eat anything.
yes.
So I don't think they're in danger of ruling the world. I do think that if certain people have their way and we stop like doing cows as livestock, to protect the ozone layer and stuff. If they have their way and we stop doing that, then they'll probably be like, hey, how about rat protein? Because these are probably the same people that are trying to get insect protein as a replacement.
No.
Which I've eaten a cricket and a grasshopper. Not a fan.
It just doesn't look like there's that much meat. It's just going to be all squishy
It's
guts.
it was crunchy and it had a weird aftertaste. I didn't like it.
I can't imagine why you would like it. It's
You
bugs.
never know. I'm willing to try certain things.
Where did you try this at? What is that noise?
I had the crick. No, I had the grasshopper in Mexico, and then I had the cricket during a Halloween pub crawl.
Oh, were they chocolate covered? Or were they
No, it was just a cricket in my drink. Not that it hopped in there; it was part of the drink. They warned. They said, it was a garnish, an edible garnish. Is this the West End zombie crawl? Yeah,
A
which is
garnish
so
that
funny.
has no taste
It
or
had a
added
taste. It
taste
didn't
to the
taste
drink.
good,
What
but
was the drink?
I don't remember. That's why I'm not going to the West End zombie pub crawl this year, or I think by the time this comes out, it's why I did not go to the West End zombie pub crawl, because I don't. I don't. I. It's rough not remembering it. I have fun. I know I have fun. I just don't remember all the fun that I have. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't need to. Okay.
I can see why.
It was fun, I think.
From what
Pretty
I don't
sure.
remember.
The pictures looked fun.
All right. So now we went through the rats on their impact on history. I'm going to show what some of the impact they have on the environment. One of the positive things they do is they play an important role in the vitality of the environment by helping to control insect population, and more importantly, they are a major source of food for many predators. Such wild heroes include hawks, fox, owls, and even wolves. I applaud you. Keep up this good fight.
How many episodes are you going to plug in this episode?
That's what we're supposed to do, right? Give a little throwbacks to other ones.
I guess. I
Make
mean, I
people want
do
to
it every
watch.
now and then as well, but every now and then. I'm just are you going to have an episode called
I did
callback?
think about one doing.
Just do a callback.
Yeah. Here's our 40 episodes. Here's a
Oh, there
little
we go.
catching up on all of them.
Actually, this is, I think, going to be 42.
Oh,
Or it might be 40. Let me see.
moving right along, we are.
Yeah, no, let's see. So, no, we already did episode 40. So, yeah, this is 42.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
we
nice.
stopped declaring the number because it's too hard to keep up with. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, that means we are 10 away from hitting 50 episodes.
Wow. Who would have thought when we started this that we would make it to 50?
Not me.
No, not it. This is going great. I'm loving every minute.
I still have more topics. So, I mean,
I do too. I'm getting this one out of the way.
If one of them's not callback.
No, that's what you do when you run out of stuff. Like when you're a singer and you put out a greatest hit album.
Now I'm just waiting on people to actually comment more. I mean, we've gotten some comments. Don't get me wrong. We've had a few on mostly on Spotify so far, but I'm waiting for somebody to be like, "Hey, Darrell, do another one about coroners and medical examiners," or because I still have more.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that one. I actually want you to do another one about that one.
If the people want it. I don't care what you want. All right, there was my shameless plug. All right, your turn.
All right. Well, the negative they have on the environment. Their non native species, including the hulking Norway rat, the roof rat, and the tiny terrors, the house mice, are pests when they infest houses, threaten public health, and destroy property. They could damage or destroy critical habitats, native plants and animals, crops, property, food, supplies, and your dreams. Something good. Rats are able to survive on a huge range of food, allowing them to be a garbage disposal of sorts for the ecosystem. Well, this range of food taste has allowed them to survive on every continent except Antarctica. And there's something bad. I now have to figure out how to live in Antarctica.
Ew, gross. No, I'm
Their
still trying to.
impact on.
Oh,
What's
never
that?
mind.
Go
No,
ahead.
never mind. It was an aside that was going to be wildly inappropriate, so I'm gonna retract it, and not say it.
All
So
right.
yeah, you can move on and just keep, just vomiting rat facts at me.
Yeah. I got a few more here. I got
Okay.
actually several more here. All right. Their impact on public health. Mice and rats have long served as the preferred species of biomedical research animal models due to their anatomical, physiological, and genetic similarity to humans. Some other advantages of mice and rats include their small size, their ease of maintenance, short life cycles, and abundant genetic resources. The negative, basically everything I just said. So we have genes very similar, have similar mental capabilities, and our anatomy is comparable. So
Uh,
you're saying I'm hung like a rat? What's happening here?
um. So keep in mind, I mean, they. It's mainly because they're cheap, and there's enough shared genetic information, where they are comparable. I
Mm-hmm.
think ideally they would use pigs,
Pig,
and of course, like your
chimpanzees.
apes. The problem is when it comes to those apes, everybody loves apes.
Yeah,
Nobody wants you
nobody
to
loves
test the.
rats.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I
I
mean,
mean, like seriously, whenever I was a kid, I wanted to study primates. I wanted to be a scientist that studied primates
mhm.
until it dawned on me that I don't get to just go and hang out with a gorilla or a chimpanzee all day. I have to study it, and then at any point in time, whoever I work for is like, I'm going to take this chimpanzee away from you, and I'll be like, no, it's like my baby. So yeah, I have no reason to study
Yeah.
those.
Although they have short life cycles, I would call it very long and drawn out life cycles of about a year or two. However, where their gestation period of anywhere between 19 and 30 days, depending on the species, and them being ready to spread their seed at 5 to 6 weeks, allows for large numbers to be generated. So it only takes someone one time to forget to lock the door on their way out of the Rat Resource and Research Center or from the Mutant Mouse Regional Resource Center to end the world as we know it.
There's other value to that though. Whenever
What's
it
that?
comes to like research,
Mm-hmm.
is say they're researching, I don't know, an mRNA vaccine that might have cause genetic changes or alter your DNA. You can't necessarily wait, in certain cases maybe wait 10 years to study it over and over. So you throw it in some rats, and
Mm-hmm.
they live for a while, they die, they reproduce, and then you get to sit there and see if there's any kind of alteration in the DNA and genetics that get passed down.
So you're saying they die?
On what, and not necessarily just like those things, but like anything that's carcinogenic or anything along those lines. See what kind of things can be passed
It
down
speeds
throughout
up
the generations.
the process of the testing. Like you
Yeah,
said, yeah, I
yeah, because we
agree.
can't.
Yeah,
I mean, we can't. There's all sorts of
kill
stuff that
more of
we
them. Yeah,
didn't
go ahead,
that
keep
we
going.
didn't know that we could pass down. Until like I don't know, about 100 million people had come and gone. So
Mm. No, it's interesting. Like I said, you got to know your enemies and you got to respect your enemies as well.
they're they're not
Something
enemies.
good they actually do. something you're kind of alluding to just a second ago was once again, due to their super sniffers, they can detect tuberculosis. Patients with signs and symptoms of tuberculosis leave sputum, also known as a loogie, samples at their local clinic to be checked by convenient microscopy. Both negative and positive tests are sent to the TB rat sniffers. They confirm positive test. If it's a negative test and the rat hits on it, it is marked as suspect and retested for TB. One rat can check 100 samples in less than 20 minutes. This same task would take a lab technician at least 4 days.
So, let me make sure I have this right, and I want to make sure I use the appropriate scientific nomenclature. So,
Mm-hmm.
these rodents
Mm-hmm.
will smell the lung butter.
The lung butter. Mm-hmm.
That's a scientific word,
The
and be all like
sputum.
the lung butter, and
Mm-hmm.
and then it. But here's the thing: does it push a button and say positive TB, or does it go? Ugh? Does it
No,
flinch?
they'll
Is
if
it
they
like the
hover over
groundhog in
it
its
for
shadow?
no, if they hover over it for more than 3 seconds, they know it's a hit. Like they're hovering over it, they know it's a hit. If they go to it quickly and run away, then they know it's not a positive hit.
So they like the smell of tuberculosis?
Yeah, they hit on it. Like if a drug dog smells marijuana,
Oh,
they're
so they
gonna
train
hit.
them to hit on it.
Yes,
They train them to like the smell of tuberculosis.
yes, yeah, pretty
I
much.
mean, I don't know. I'm kind of. You know what? This might actually speak to how smart they are. You said that they live about 2 years, right?
Hmm. Uh, yeah, the last cycle is 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it wouldn't be worth training a rat. Like say it takes like 6 months to teach them something, and they're dead in like after another 6 months to
Hmm.
months or whatever. So they must learn really fast. They
They
must be
do, and I
very.
will get to a very special rat here briefly that
Oh, well,
coincides with what you're saying about learning really
is it one
fast.
that can pick the lock on your front door tonight?
Uh, does that one
Ease into your
exist?
room,
Oh my
army
god,
crawl under your front door, push the blanket out of the way,
they could.
ease its
The
way
one I'm
up,
talking about is freaking. Oh
then
my
it'll
god.
climb on your wife's head and it'll grab her hair and it'll work it like Ratatouille and make her beat your ass.
Oh man, good thing we sleep in opposite ends of the bed, so that won't happen.
Oh, well, or it could tunnel up your ass.
No, I sleep on my back, so I don't know.
All right, it'll chew up your giblies.
Oh man, well, good thing I have that Oakley running around here to take care of that thing. All right, since I said something good about him, I got to say something bad about him. The one of the major centers that use these methods use both dogs and rats. They are called hero dogs and hero rats. The words hero and rat do not go together, but for a small monthly fee, you can even adopt one of these creatures.
You know, I hope that if you're ever, I don't ever want anything bad to happen to you. I don't. But I hope if something does, that it's a rat that saves you. Like you're like hanging
I
off of
would die.
you're like hanging off of a cliff, like your fingers are there, and you think it's going to come over and bite your fingers, but
I would
instead
let go.
it uses its little rat hands, and it starts trying to pull you up, and it lowers its tail down so that you could like use that to pull your way up,
I
and then
would
it'll
reach
say
up
it,
there and slowly grab it like a monster. Like, thank you for helping me, and then grab it and throw it off.
and then die with it.
Yeah, you're going with me.
I would love to see a rat just on your shoulder, giving you kisses on your cheek.
Oh, no, it would be unknowingly if he was doing that. Oh my god, I just could imagine. I couldn't face it. The whiskers and the little feet. Mm-mm.
So funny. I'm scared of snakes. I'm scared of snakes.
Yeah,
Something that's reasonable to be afraid of because they can kill people.
this is why
Um,
it's irrational. It doesn't make
all right.
sense. You're right. I
But
could stomp it out with a foot if I wanted to.
so I have a cousin up in Kentucky, and he's he's from Kentucky, so he likes he'll go out there and pick up a snake. He don't care. He's like, oh, a snake.
Used to it.
He'll pick it
Yeah.
up. And there was one time we were at family reunion, and he comes over and he puts something on my shoulder, and I could barely see it out the corner of my eye, and it looked like a snake. I'm like I said, scared of snakes. You know what I did? I stood really still, and I was like, "Get it off of me." I have a feeling if I put a rat on your shoulder, that is not going to be your reaction.
No, I'm at an age, Darrell, where if you scare me with things, I may kill over.
I was going to say, this was like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, whenever my cousin did this to me. Now, granted, it did turn out to be a fake snake, but it felt like it was moving. It was all up in my head. Like, I was freaking out, but it was one of those things where I was like, I'm going to be really still because that is the smart thing to do.
Yeah. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to freak yourself out more.
No, I don't want to freak that thing out because I've always been terrified of a snake biting my face.
Oh, yeah. It's very soft and subtle.
Well, and it happens in the miniseries Lonesome Dove. This dude has a snake just goes, just bites onto his face.
You know what happens in Kingpin, too.
Well, it was funny in that, though.
Yeah, he gets stuck in the face with the cobra.
He bit it back.
Have you seen those videos where the people scare people golfing with snakes, where they'll like clip it to their shirt and they say, "Oh, there's a snake next to you," and they start running and it chases them because it's clipped to their shirt.
That's hilarious. But it's funny because I
hit it with a golf club.
I only know of one snake that'll chase you. Water moccasin. They're aggressive.
Wow, I would just run away from water. But you would think
we all run. Well, they don't just stay in the water.
I know.
Even fat fuckers like me can run faster than a snake. So
yes, or at least run faster than the person next to you.
No, they didn't like that. It ain't like a bear. That one's the one where you just got to run faster than the person you're with. Or shoot them in the leg.
Man, well, all right. Their impact on our daily life. As mentioned prior, rats have and continue to be used for detecting landmines. They detect the scent of the explosives, not the scrap metal. Doing it this way, an explosive sniffing rat can search the size of a tennis court in 30 minutes. If using a manual deminer with a metal detector, it can take up to 4 days. There was even a rat named Magawa who had an illustrious career in clearing out landmines. From 2016 through 2022, Magawa cleared more than 56 acres of land in Cambodia. Magawa found 71 landmines and 38 other unexploded devices. Magawa received the PDSA Gold Medal in 2020 for his work, the first rat to do so.
That rat is a hero. Say it. Say it. Say it. That rat is a hero. It saved little Cambodian children.
Very true. He did something very quickly that it couldn't have been done by a human in that quick of time.
Say it. He deserves it.
He deserves it.
No. He's a hero. Magawa the rat is a hero.
Magawa the rat's hero.
Yay! Good job. Progress.
Okay, the negative, the also important negative. Since the rats don't weigh enough, the mines will not blow them to hell where they came from. As I've said before. Just because they don't weigh enough, though, that don't mean shit. They use these African giant pouched rats. These vicious beasts average in size of around 3 pounds and measuring around 30 to 35 inches from the tip of their head to their disgusting tail. So to break that down or put it into perspective, that's about the size of a Volkswagen.
Wait. Wow.
No, you weren't paying attention.
No, I mean it's not. No, because I was going to say the capybaras are the biggest rodent. They're the largest rodent.
They're not, of course, they're not the size of a Volkswagen, but they're big enough to put a leash on them, like a full collared shirt type leash, and they could be on your shoulder, and they look like a gopher. They are humongous.
Have you seen a capybara?
Yeah, but those look more like beavers, and they don't look so bad.
It
This
looks
looks
like a
like a
rat with a
rat,
tail.
but
Okay.
somebody super exposed it and made it 5 times the size
And
it's
people
supposed to be.
it is a pet.
It's an African giant pouched rat.
Okay.
Look
Let
it
me
up.
see.
It is humongous. I'm telling you, it's the
African
size of a house cat.
giant pouched rat. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he's kissing that lady on the face.
Yeah, because he could stand up on his back legs and reach her.
Oh, and they got like little like kangaroo arm things happening.
They're big.
That is
You see the one lifting weights?
not yet. That is adorable. It's just sitting there hanging on that chick's shoulder.
Well, they
And
are
they
big,
don't
are
look.
they not? Are they not giant, normal, more than big?
I mean, it was. Oh wow! Here's one where a guy's like stretching it out by its tail or whatever.
If you wanted to look up Magawa,
It's like
it is
a chihuahua.
it's Magawa.
I would totally keep a pouched rat.
It is big. It is
It
very
looks
large.
it
You'll
looks
probably
cute.
need a house key so you could get in and out of your house.
Oh, look at it when they're little and they're drinking. Oh. All right, let's
Mm-mm.
see
No,
Magawa. Magawa
very big.
rat, Cambodia. Oh, yeah, he's adorable.
No, you're
He's a
you're, you're
hero.
mispronouncing disgustingly filthy.
No, he is. He's got a little collar on, and it's got the little medal on it,
Yeah.
and he's posing for the camera. Oh my god, I love him.
Well, if anybody else who loves them, you can adopt several of them.
My
And
dogs would eat them.
no, they wouldn't. They would eat the dogs.
There's a book about him. Magawa has a book, and it's called Hero Rat. Magawa, a life-saving rodent.
Yeah. So he's done his part. He served his time. Not only have been used to clear out landmines, they are also being used in search and rescue missions after earthquakes. Uh, the organization that Magawa was associated with, the APOPO, or the Anti-Personnel Landmines Detection Product Development, is leading the charge in these rat armies, if you will. So they're actually using them for some good uses. Like, I give them credit.
Here's something fun to think about, though. I'm going to enjoy this.
Oh, God. What are you about to say?
I wonder if any scientists have like taught like rats like some special skill, whether it's like finding a certain thing or doing some sort of task. Because, obviously they're intelligent. And then
Yes.
set it off in the wild to see if it teaches other rats.
Other rats?
Or like
Oh, don't
its
put that out
children.
there. Delete this.
You can make a
bad idea.
All right, scientists. I want to know if a rat can teach, if it can pass down its teachings, and if we can like create a super intelligent
No.
rat race.
They are empathetic, so they probably could.
Oh
my God.
I think I figured out. I've always wanted to be a mad scientist. Now I know how I can be.
Oh, well.
Oh, Jason, I'm going to be your arch nemesis. Be like, we were best friends. You betrayed me.
You know that movie
and I'll
we
be
wanted
like,
to
I'm
write?
going to rule the world.
You know that movie we wanted to write? We figured out the plot. All right.
No.
Just like what you just said, the something bad. The rats are already very smart. We are training them to be smarter. I recently saw 2 rats driving themselves around in their own little RC cars. They were pushing the levers to go forward, right, and left. And it is only a matter of months before they overturn the election, and we have the rat, the size of the one from Beekman's World, sitting behind the Oval Office. I warned you.
I'm all excited because you can teach him how to drive. That's what I'll teach the rat. I'll teach it how to drive, and then I'm going to just set it free out in the wild so it can teach other rats how to drive.
It was actually pretty cool. They were in a little RC car, and they had 3 little levers in front of them. They knew which ones to press to get toward the treat, and they know how to move it back and forth to get where they wanted to go. It was quite freaky.
I love it. Then I'll make a bunch of like little tanks that could like shoot stuff, and I'll have my own little rat infantry or cavalry or whatever, full of like little rat tanks. And I
Well,
will
if it's like Planet of the Apes, and there are much more rats than there are apes, it is very plausible. It is very plausible.
Be like Willard, except better.
Oh, man. Well, that will do it for this episode. Tune in next week.
Wait.
Hey, what? What did I do?
Forgot one of the other things.
What are the other things?
Thanks to rats, we got a really nice Michael Jackson song. He sang a song about
Beat
Ben.
It?
No, there's a movie. All right, so Willard, the movie Willard was originally came out in the 70s. Well, there was a sequel called Ben that was about the big rat that was called Ben in Willard. And he ends up meeting a boy, and Michael Jackson sang a song called Ben. And
to a rat?
It's a very pretty song. I like it. But it was like the song for that movie and Michael Jackson did it. It was awesome. It's a great song. So thanks to rats, we have a nice Michael Jackson song.
I was hoping it would be Beat It. That makes more sense.
No.
Well, okay. Well, that will do it for this episode. Tune in next week while we'll unlock the door, take the stuffed blanket from underneath the door, and quickly scurry to hide behind Darrell as he brings us another topic and made us say, Waywut?
I'm not going to bring a topic. I'm going to bring an army of rats to your front door. You're gonna see
be our last episode
with my arms wide open with this whole like army of rats, and you're gonna see all the houses of your neighborhood on fire as people will go screaming, and I'll be like, "Accept my rule. I am the rat god."
Oh man, I won't get to see any of it because I would quickly die right then and there. Well,
I think we need. I'm gonna see if I can find it because like I know there's a place near me where like you can have an encounter with like a 3-toed sloth. Where like say you pay $300, they'll bring a sloth over to your house, and they do it for like
just to play with, or
I mean they mainly talk about it. I don't think they let you hold it or nothing, which sucks. It's like if I don't get to hold the sloth, I'm not paying you damn money.
Yeah,
but I wonder if they do like rat encounters where it's like, you know what, we want to help you conquer your fear.
I don't know if I want
to. And they end up introducing you some really, really sweet rat, like a really, really kind and nice rat.
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't
you
know.
need to open your mind.
So far in my head that I don't know if I could ever get over it.
We can do this. We will do it together. We'll pet a rat
to be
together.
With somebody. You ain't be by myself.
We'll find it. I'll see if there's a local encounter with an African pouched rat, and we'll take it on a walk.
It will take me on a walk. Yeah,
on our shoulders. And we'll do a thing where we'll make a bridge for it, and it'll walk across my arm onto yours.
I would ride it, Darrell. The damn thing is so big. I would have put a saddle on it and ride it.
Jason, you're going to do this even if I have to handcuff you.
Oh,
I need to de-bitchify you. All right, now
play that game again. We're gonna play that game again.
People, please comment if you think that Jason needs to have a close encounter with a rat so that he can stop being such a little bitch about things.
No,
or you can tell us what stupid thing you're afraid of.
No, tell me how right I am.
You're not right. Nobody's gonna think
I'm not alone in this plight.
You are alone. You're all alone.
No
You're
way.
all alone. It's just you and all the rats.
Not a chance in hell. There's so many people, so many brave souls out there. Stay strong. Stay strong, guys.
All right. Bye.
Later.
Thank you for joining us for Waywut. We really appreciate you watching or listening. Please subscribe or follow us on your favorite platform to catch our latest episodes that we publish on Tuesdays and sometimes on Fridays. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's rating us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, commenting on our videos or just a podcast episode, or following us and hitting us up on TikTok, Facebook, or X. You can find us there with our handle, Waywut Podcast. That's WAYWUT Podcast. And that will do it for this episode. Join us next time. We'll make you say, Waywut.